Hello friends, this is Jack from Choco Anime Recap, and today, I'm going to explain the new 2023 spring anime called Mashle Magic and Muscles, Episode 1. But before that, please like this video and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell for more anime recaps. Upon completing his training in the serene woods, Mash pulls out a creamy puff from his bag and relishes its taste, mentioning how it is a perfect way to end a rigorous workout session. Meanwhile, Rigro, Mash's caring adoptive father, savors a hot beverage while sitting alone in the tranquility of his abode in the woods. Suddenly, the entrance door rattles, and Mash barges in, tearing the door off its hinges. Rigro screams at Mash, pointing out that he only needed to open the door, not break it. Mash apologizes for his impulsive action, admitting that he couldn't recall if he had to push or pull the door, leading him to use excessive force. Rigro forgives him, but cautions him about his behavior. Mash begins to push the door repetitively into the frame, causing Rigro to shriek again. Rigro tries to guide Mash, but Mash misunderstands and continues to force the door, ultimately snapping it into 3 pieces. Realizing his mistake, Mash apologizes for his actions. Rigro dismisses the broken door incident and inquires about Mash's training progress. Mash reports that his routine went smoothly and queries Rigro about the daily workouts. Rigro responds enigmatically that it is a story for another day. Knowing that Mash lacks the ability to use magic, he believes that physical training is the most he can do for him. Rigro then warns Mash not to leave the house and venture into the city, but Mash assures him that he won't. Rigro commends Mash for being a good son before leaving. As soon as Rigro departs, Mash discovers an advertisement for Goblin Cream Puffs on a piece of paper and decides to explore the city in search of this exclusive one-day-only special menu, as he cannot resist the allure of an empty stomach. Upon arriving in the city, Mash is taken aback by the sight of people using magic to carry out even the most mundane of tasks, such as cooking, cleaning, and serving drinks. He can't help but wonder why people don't just do these things by hand. Despite his confusion, Mash makes his way to Goblin Cream Puffs and purchases 7 of the special pastries, paying with 3 coins that turn out to be bent. The shopkeeper is surprised, but Mash offers to fix them, which he does with ease, causing the shopkeeper to react with shock. As the shopkeeper hands him the cream puffs, a sudden gust of wind blows Mash's hood down, revealing that he lacks the magic mark that is present on the faces of all those who possess magic abilities. This unexpected revelation shocks both the shopkeeper and the onlookers, who begin to whisper among themselves. In a police station, Brad Coleman, a police officer, can be seen scanning through a newspaper. The article states that Rain Ames, a second-year student at Easton Magic Academy, has been crowned this year's Divine Visionary for her exceptional skills. It also mentions that the Divine Visionary will be honored with nobility status and 1 billion London the world's currency. Brad remarks that he wishes he had that level of talent instead of living a monotonous life. Suddenly, a voice from the cell pleads Brad to pardon him, confessing that he stole something small but unimportant. Brad snubs him, saying that his petty crimes only add to his workload and that he will keep him locked up until he learns to stay out of trouble. Just then, the telephone rings, and Brad picks it up to learn that an individual without a magic mark has surfaced in the city. While strolling through the city and munching on his cream puffs, Mash accidentally collides with Terry, a police officer, and smears cream on his clothes. Mash apologizes, but Terry starts yelling at him, saying that he protects the city without receiving any appreciation. Mash offers Terry a cream puff, but Terry believes Mash is insulting him by giving him a half-eaten one. Terry slaps the cream puff out of Mash's hand, calling him a bratty punk, and demands that he do something about the mess he made on his uniform. Mash then unexpectedly rips Terry's clothes off, offering to wash them for him. Terry starts screaming as his clothes are destroyed instead of being cleaned. At that moment, Brad arrives and asks what the commotion is about. Terry points at Mash, and Brad realizes that Mash lacks a magic mark. However, before Brad can take any action, Regro grabs Mash and runs away. Brad mutters that it will be a hassle, but he cannot let this opportunity slip away. Upon arriving home, Regro immediately reprimands Mash for venturing into the city. Mash immediately apologizes and assures Regro that he won't repeat the mistake. Regro notices Mash's remorse and advises him to be more cautious in the future. As punishment, Regro requires Mash to repeat his training regimen. Mash gives Regro the remaining cream puffs as a peace offering before he departs. Regro contemplates how subservient Mash is, but he worries about the consequences of the magical police discovering Mash's presence. Regro must act quickly to avoid any repercussions. However, Brad, Terry, and another police officer abruptly burst into the house before Regro can implement his plan. As Mash completes his training, he sets out to return home while humming a melody about cream puffs. However, when he arrives at the door, he is uncertain if he should push or pull it. As he stands there, he overhears Brad saying that they have come for the child that he is sheltering. Brad goes on to explain that those who lack magical abilities are excluded from the gene pool, and this has been the case throughout history. He claims that this is a necessary sacrifice for the benefit of society, as they should not have been born in the first place. Brad then directs his attention to Regro and informs him that hiding those who lack magical abilities is a serious offense. He demands that Regro hand Mash over to them, but Regro refuses, which infuriates Brad. As a result, Brad launches an attack on Regro. In a flashback to Regro's childhood, it is revealed that his father did not love him because he was not skilled in using magic. He was constantly belittled and made to feel worthless. Regro almost took his own life due to this, but he found Mash abandoned on a bridge as a baby. After realizing that Mash did not have a mark, he decided to raise him as his own son. In the present, Regro reflects that even though they are not related by blood, he will always see Mash as his own. He warns Mash to run away, but Brad orders the other policemen to search for him. Brad tells Regro to stay quiet and strikes him on the head, but Regro still calls out to Mash. Mash bursts into the room, crashing through the door and knocking down one of the policemen. Terry tries to remind Mash of their past encounter, but Mash quickly retaliates by tearing off Terry's uniform and repeatedly slapping him in the face. Regro questions Mash about why he didn't run away, and Mash responds with a simple yet powerful statement. Because we are a family. Brad finds Mash's strength without magic laughable, especially given Brad's prior experience in the Bureau of Magic's security force. Brad prepares to use the AniCapped spell, a powerful spell he had previously used to fend off a dragon. However, Mash easily deflects the spell with a single slap, leaving Brad bewildered as to how Mash could possess such strength. Brad acknowledges Mash's fighting skills, and claims that he won't be able to withstand his next spell. Despite Terry's warning about the potential destruction of the forest, Brad disregards it and unleashes a powerful spell called AniCapped Diagris. Mash, once again, effortlessly counters the spell by swatting it away. This only serves to further infuriate Brad, who launches a series of attacks at Mash. However, Mash remains unscathed and instead decides to have some fun with the attacks, treating them like balls and juggling them with ease. Mash proceeds to pick up Regro's wand, mentioning that he needs to borrow it. This action leaves Brad perplexed, but he quickly raises a defensive spell. Mash then hurls the wand, breaking through Brad's shield, slicing his cheek, and lodging it into the wall. Brad collapses on the floor, remarking that he has never witnessed someone using a magic wand in that manner. Mash warns them not to lay a finger on his family, threatening to take their lives. Regro is taken aback by Mash's incredible strength, pondering how he could have acquired such abilities when his training was solely for self-defense. Brad chuckles and commends Mash for his abilities, before offering him a proposition. He proposes that Mash comply with his instructions, and in return, he will release Mash and Regro. Mash inquires about the offer, prompting Brad to explain that they reside in a strongly religious nation where one student is selected each year to be the divine visionary, a chosen individual of God. Brad suggests that Mash simply needs to enroll in a magic school and earn the title of Divine Visionary, which would compel society to accept him. Brad asserts that he only seeks the wealth and recognition that accompany the position, and thus will aid Mash in his endeavors. Regro tells Mash not to listen, as the plan is absurd and they shouldn't trust someone who just tried to kill them. Brad says that he can see why they would be skeptical, but if they refuse, the magic police will never stop hunting them down. He says that Mash may be able to take it, but Regro won't. He then asks Mash if he wants to spend the rest of his life being hunted like a dog, or sees this chance to turn society on its head. Mash agrees to the deal, causing Regro to lose his mind. Mash then says that he will be fine as he is chock full of motivation, as he wants the two of them to live in peace, and if the world won't allow that, then he has got no choice but to crush it with his fist. And this brings the anime to an end. Comment for part 2